Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast, and in today's video I am updating you on one of my favorite project pans that I'm doing at the moment, and it is my Pan That palette for 2020. And when I say pan that palette, I mean pan those palettes, because I have 4 palettes in this project at the moment that I'm currently working on, and I have some exciting updates on the products to show you, as well as, you know, some little disappointments. But I managed to completely use up a pan in this project this month, so you'll have to wait till the end to see that one. As per usual, I have my spreadsheet in front of me with the weights. I'm going to let you know how much I've dropped in the weights on these palettes, how I went with the shadows this month. Last month, if you saw that update, you'll remember I rolled 2 new eyeshadows into this project. I didn't go the greatest on those eyeshadows this month, but I do have some dips in a few of those eyeshadows. But as per usual, we'll start with the problem child of the family, and that is the ABH contour kit. Now, I will say I have used this palette a little bit this month, not on my actual face though, not on myself. I've actually been using this palette this month to do face charting. So I've used this palette a little bit, not enough to really see any kind of dips or progress or anything like that. I am starting to get pretty close, I think, to the pan on this one right here. It is getting a really considerable dip in it, and I feel like the pan is very close. But I haven't been using any of these on my face this month. I've just fallen out of love with this palette. So yeah, I was actually thinking about rolling this palette out, but I'm really determined to get this palette finished. But at the same time, I haven't made any progress on this palette for the last couple of months. So now that I'm talking to you guys about it, I think I literally just decided that I'm going to roll this one out. I'm going to go grab another face palette out of my collection to replace this, and I think I'm just going to let this one have a little break in my collection for a little while, and I'm going to go, after I finish the other updates, I'm going to show you the palette that I'm going to replace this one with, and we'll see if we can make some better progress on that, because this one for me has just kind of reached a stalemate. So we'll see if we can find a face palette in my collection that I will enjoy using more. So last month it weighed in at 193.88 grams. And now it weighs in at 193.69 grams. So it has dropped by a little bit in the weight. And as I said, I did use it a little bit this month for face charting. So I'm glad to see that it dropped by a little bit. I'm rolling this bad boy out, and we will find another palette in my collection that suits me better at the moment. Next are my 2 eyeshadow palettes. So last month I rolled in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I also rolled in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This month I haven't hit pan on any shadows in either of these palettes, but I will say I have a considerable dip in a color in the Too Faced palette, and that is the matte cream color here. And then the other colors that I have been focusing on this month is, do these have any names? I think they have names, but I lost the cover long ago. So I've been focusing on this color here quite a lot, and there is a pretty considerable dip on one side of the pan. I don't know whether you're going to see it in this one. You might see it in the photos. And then I also was focusing on this color here and these 2 colors. There's a little bit of wear in the brown shadow pans. There's a decent dip in the matte cream color, but no pan as yet, which is disappointing, but that's all right. You win some, you lose some. This one weighed in at 210.07 grams last month, and now it weighs in at 209.7 grams. So I've used about 0.37 of a gram. So a bit over a quarter of a gram, which is really nice to see and hear and look at. So hopefully we might see pan. Hopefully I'll see pan on at least this cream color here next month, and maybe a dip showing in those matte shades. There's already a little bit of a dip showing in this one, but I'd like to see, you know, a more noticeable dip. One that maybe you guys can actually see on camera. And then the next one is my Modern Renaissance palette. And for this one, I've kind of been focusing on a range of colors. So pretty much, I was going to say all the matte colors, but I haven't dipped into all the matte colors. So as you can see, so this color here, I think it's Tempera, and then I think it's Love Letter, and Burnt Orange, Red Ochre, Venetian Red, and Warm Taupe. I think I've dipped in a little bit to this one. So there's been like a little bit of use across the board on these ones. I think the main one that has seen the most wear is probably the color Love Letter and the color Tempera. This is a really nice palette. I really enjoy it. I've been enjoying getting some more use out of it. Yeah, I've been using this palette as a whole. Like when I grab it out, I have been kind of using it as a palette for like full looks. This guy right here weighed in at 185.4 grams last month. And now it weighs in at 185.3938. 185.39 grams. So I've dropped 0.05 of a gram. Not that good, but like I said, I've been using these palettes, but I haven't been like going crazy with them. And the Modern Renaissance, the ABH formula, like it kicks up a bit, and I find you just need to like dip in the tiniest and you've got enough color on your brush to like do your eye look. So those are the two updates on my eyeshadow palette. Hopefully we'll see some pan on some shadows next month. I love seeing pan on eyeshadows, so I'm looking forward to seeing some pan on eyeshadows in those two palettes. And my last palette that I need to update you on is my Too Faced Love Flush Wardrobe eyeshadow. My Too Faced Love Flush Long Lasting 16 Hour. My Too Faced Love Flush 16-hour long-lasting blush wardrobe, something like that. Anyway, there's 6 blushes in here. I have been focusing on the color Your Love Is King. This month I decided to mix Your Love Is King with Baby Love, and I managed to completely finish the color Baby Love. If you can see that there. Look at that naked pan. So satisfying. So I used the color, what is it, Love Hangover a little bit. Love Hangover, and then Your Love Is King is the one that I have been using mostly this month. And I'm starting to see like some dips and some like it kind of dipping around the edge of the pan a little bit. So I think maybe like 2 more months on Your Love Is King and I might have pan. It is quite a pigmented blush, so for me with my quite pale skin, I'm finding it harder to get through this really quickly because it like a little bit shows up on my skin quite a lot. And then Love Hangover, I don't think we'll see pan on that for another couple of months. If I could use up both of these before the end of the year, that would be really good. That'd be really cool. I don't know whether that's going to happen. If I could hit pan on both of them, I'd be really happy with that. But if I could use them up completely, that would be amazing. And then I can focus on these 3 next year. I don't want to spend a whole nother year on this palette, but I really want to see this palette completely used up. The blush palette weighed in at 128.31 grams last month, and now it weighs in at 127.88 grams. So once again, I think I've used about just under half a gram, which seems to be how I'm tracking with this progress. Yes, yeah, 0.31 to 0.88. Yeah, so that's how I seem to be tracking with this palette. It seems to be like about half a gram each month in progress, and these are a total of 2 grams each. So I'm using like a quarter of a blush every month. I was really hoping I'd have this one done by the end of the year, but each month that's becoming more and more apparent that is definitely not going to happen. But if I can use half of this up by the end of the year, I think I'll still consider that a win, a success. One of the times I wish that I had like a deeper complexion so I could use more of this product at once. And if you watch Alejandra Lassetti, she hits pan on these blushes in like 1 month. Alex, if you're watching this, I am mega jealous of you. I wish I could hit pan on these as quick as you do, but I just can't. I gotta go get my face palette that I'm going to roll in. Give me a sec. So I think this might be my only other face palette in my collection other than like trios. So this is the Kevyn Aucoin, I think that's how it's pronounced. Kevyn Aucoin like contour book. I think this is like the 2nd edition, maybe the 3rd edition of these palettes. And this palette, I haven't used it all that much, but this is what it looks like. And it has highlighters, it's got like contours, sculpting powders. It's got a lot of highlighters, or I can use them as brow products or eyeshadows or something like that. Probably not going to use them as that. At the moment, I'll probably just focus on maybe the sculpting powder and then the highlighter colors. The 2 in the middle, I don't know whether I'll be able to find a use for them, but I'll give them a try and see how I like them. Otherwise, I'll just be focusing on the 2 pans at the top and the 2 pans at the bottom and the 2 at the top. I'll give this one away and see what it weighs in at. So the starting weight on this one is 177.56 grams. So we'll see how we go with this one. We'll see if it works a little bit better for me and my like current routine and how I like to do my makeup. We'll see how we go. That's my update on my Pan That Palette series for 2020. If you are focusing on any face palettes or any eyeshadow palettes, let me know. If you are focusing on any face palettes or eyeshadow palettes, let me know how you're going on them down in the comments box. If you're new around here and you enjoyed this video and you want to keep up to date on all my other content that I release, I do release videos twice a week, and I also live stream on YouTube every Sunday at 9 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about the new beauty releases. So if that interests you at all, then I hope you consider subscribing down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I hope you're staying safe and healthy and looking after yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.